Boom. And then you can send it to Cuban and Rob. Rob might not be able to make it, but I always feel like you got to send it to Rob. You got to send it to Rob. Hey, guys. Welcome back. That was a little bit stressful. I was showing you guys the museum. I knew I shouldn't have. My own bad mistake. I jacked the whole internet and made everyone's internet stop working. But we got it. We got it working again. So let's see if I can't figure out a way. Live event. Back up on YouTube. I think we're good. Boom. Hash Church. Facebook. Here is the new link. Yeah, press it up.
Hello.
We're both muting you, Todd. Like you're muting you and I'm muting you, and then I'm muting you. Just a mute button. On top of your screen. Yeah. Because it won't let me right now. I'm trying. All right. There we go. D420K, you made it back, dude. Difficulties. Can you hear us, buddy? I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. We have 0. Oh, no, we got 21 viewers that we just got happening. So maybe that's from the YouTube. Let's see if they can find it back. Oh, yeah. People are like, I was about to be sad. I'm glad I hung around. We are loyal. Bubbleman sounds like, who's Wally? He works at the museum, and why have they not changed that smoke alarm battery? Alarm battery. Can you hear? That's, yeah, well, we'll let them. We'll keep them all up. I'm glad you guys came back. I was I'm telling everyone to shut up, but I'm sorry.
We got good.
Thank you for coming back. We got 3 people, so I mean we lost a lot. Weren't able to use the link.
We had a pretty good conversation.
Excellent. Thanks, Johnny B.
No problem. Yeah, we had a really good conversation going about parchment and the Teflon paper, oil thing.
Yeah, let me mute my mic.
Yeah, I was between Cuba, so I was telling them. Yeah, I was telling them like I used to use parchment a year ago, and 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I PFTA or something. It's like a Teflon clear cellophane, and I made a 1-to-1 CBD pineapple tsunami, like, and turned it into high times. They didn't know what to do with it because they don't have ratio categories, but it was kind of more of a gift. But that paper is thermal and it has a thermal surface. So does this Teflon. And if you see how slick that is, that's because this acts just like cellophane. When you take the old school hash and you press it in between cellophane and you oxidize it, so this oil slick does that naturally. It also has a surface area that spreads the heat, where parchment paper is going to transfer like cotton, just pushes the heat through. This is going to spread that heat across the surface area, so you can even take lower temperatures with more pressure and be able to get this type of quality. So we were talking about the difference in using, because this was a pro rosin conversation about utilizing a screen like you were doing last time, but then taking it a step further and trying to oxidize and seal this and get a rosin that looks, you know, more like a finished product, you know.
Yeah, we made some yesterday with Barb, and I also, Jeff is he loves his parchments. When you try to give him the Teflon, he's very sort of standoffish about it, but I think he'll come to the conclusion that the Teflon has some incredible to take a higher temperature, and the way it distributes, that rosin that came out from the Barb was insane. 90 micron Barb full melt rosin.
Whew! You guys are insane. You're taking already a 6-star and trying to make it into what, a 7 or 8, like Horatio was saying?
Yes.
I have a
That's
feeling
like-
that it could concentrate it further.
Tony, you've got to understand the power of cleaning it up is addictive. So even that's the thing is, can we get rosin tech to really just be a decontamination method at low temperatures? Is really what everyone's striving for. I mean, I saw people posting heated press rollers, which would then allow you to kind of pull sheets through and roll it and build up a huge wad. Now,
You
people
guys?
are treating it like closed loop investments. Like people are ready to spend $1,000 on commercializing their process. So it's very exciting because a huge demographic is experiencing a different cannabinoid profile and it getting pressed. I mean, even I'm like, I wonder what the barb's like if it's rosin. I bet it's fire. And you got to try it. So yeah, 5 stars are getting pressed.
You know what? Everybody, everywhere I went this weekend, we were sitting around with irons, talking, pressing cannabis culture, sitting behind the till, pressing up. They're sold out of certain models at the London Drugs in downtown Vancouver. It's like an ad house. Everybody's pressing buttons.
There's a lot of like, I guess like controversy with pressing high grade hash. A lot of the internet is kind of up in the air with it, man. The tech was first introduced to make half melt to no melt into full melt, but I think where it really shines is getting high grade hash that has a very low melt point, like that'll grease or melt easily, you know what I mean? So that you can filter it through the screen at lower temperatures with higher pressures. It makes a very attractive oil. In my opinion,
Yeah,
when you
listen,
use high
Cuban.
grade hash, it's good, bro. What's
When
up?
we put the rosin, when we put the barb into the screen, and all Jeff did was twist it, we didn't apply any heat, grease came out of the screen.
Yeah, that's where it shines, you see. So that's making an oil with maximum terpene retention when you're using absolutely no heat. And that's where I think the research really needs to go to make like a connoisseur quality solvent-free oil. So right now I've made a lot of slabs, as you've seen on the Instagram. We just sent a couple of the samples out to Steep Hill to get tested, all out of 99% dry sift and 5- and 6-star water hash. So I'm really excited to see how that comes out.
I think you're going to be really
Hell
surprised
yeah.
that your results are identical, if not even stronger, because it hasn't been purged.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with even stronger, bro. Just because of the way the test was made, I used like 230, 240 degrees on the PID, a shit ton of pressure, and it took longer. But in the end of the day, what I was left with in the filter was like a very thin, waxy wafer, and this was from high grade hash. So to me, it's almost like a dewaxing process that the hash is going through.
Absolutely. That's kind of, I was like, if it takes longer and more pressure, we'll eventually design it so that we get away from this heat. And it absolutely, there's no purge. So just, you've got, compared to a 48-hour purge, you've got a few seconds at high temp. So as soon as you solve that, the game is set. So it's just a matter of going through industrial equipment until we see something that meets the physical demands of large-scale production.
Man, like I wish I didn't have to fold a piece of parchment and like take it out every press and shit. Even though using a pneumatic press, I still have to do the same thing somebody with a hair iron is doing. I wish there was a way to make like the oil drip down through with pressure. You know what I mean? Or something easier, a little easier. But the process is
Well, pressure equals heat.
yeah, the process is definitely very easy. I think that it could be benefited by using like a 10 micron screen, maybe a 5 micron screen, because on some of my hashes you can see some of the waxes pass through the 25.
I can't hear anybody. You can hear me.
Darrin, I
I'll
can
see you
hear
next
you.
week.
Bye,
My
Darrin.
internet connection is bad. Peace.
Peace, bro.
Peace, brother. Sorry you can't hear us. That sucks.
Yeah.
Jeff
Hey,
just
Mark.
made a few dabs on the rosin.
The flower rosin, soil grown style.
Check this out.
And of course, I'm just sitting here with my Revlon, pressing out a little
Of
dab.
rosin. Nice work, Cuban.
You saw that? That was okay. So
You
I
saw
grabbed
it?
some.
You held a slab
I
up
made
the
like
rosin.
90%. Yeah, I made like a 90% dry sift, and then
So
ended
did you
up
see
just
it?
rosining it.
I had to boost the work and stuff.
Boom.
We actually will.
Jeez, dude.
That's a sheet. Holy sheet!
Look at that. Damn.
Rosin.
Damn. So you know we're going hard at it.
As you should. Just
Hey.
wait till you see Jamaican rosin.
Ooh, that would be dope.
Yeah. So what I was saying to you earlier when we when we got cut off was the other thing I've been doing when you were talking about no heat was making this little packet was just made. I took that and put it on the fire, like a fireplace mantle, something that's warm. So if you could touch the warmth with your hand, then it's generally a pretty good condition. And then, you know, from there, because that paper spreads the temperature out really well, the more pressure you put on that, you're not going to break it up like fibers like the way parchment is. You're going to just push on it. That's why it's Teflon. And so that's how I'm getting it to
You want to take it down?
do that. And I'm real interested to see what happens. I'm going to try to send you, I'll try to get you a roll, and I'll send you some so you could work with it. And besides, I have to come see you anyway. Remember, we're going to be doing something here soon together.
Yeah.
Are we?
Cuban. I'm talking about Cuban.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm doing a terp sift project with them.
Nice. We've had a couple of discussions as well, but our shit's not ready for public.
All right, so Mark, one thing you've missed in the chipping out, it'd be the third time we bring it up, but John's ball rig, he's in the Mothership clan now.
But John has a ball rig? Are you saying Johnny B has a ball rig?
Yeah, did you see it? He's
There he is.
boy.
What about Darrin? You mean
Okay.
Darrin?
So this is what happened.
He went and saw Darrin.
So John, who told me a week ago he would never get a mothership, bought a ball rig.
Told me Friday he would never get a Mothership. Bought a ball rig.
Let's see it, Johnny.
Okay, so there's
Hey,
a long,
goodbye, John. That's awesome, bro. Congrats, dog. I've always wanted a ball rig. Those things rip. Hell yeah.
Johnny's a strange person.
so I got the
He's
inverted
like, I would never get a mothership.
piece. I'm actually
not, screw you, mothership. That's not my thing. I'm not gonna get a mothership. I'm like, I'm
I know.
surprised he got a mothership.
I never thought I would ever get this. It's an inverted imaging sandblasting. It's a kind of a very unique piece. It shows me it is what it is, and I'm very, very happy and pleased and honored to be able to own such a beautiful piece. And it hits like a
John, I'm
champ,
glad
and it's
that
beautiful.
you got a nice mothership. That's awesome.
Thanks. You know what? I owe it all to everybody here. So it's just, you know, I'm making epic hash, and I got to be able to hit it nicely, and I got a really nice rig to appreciate the medicine that I make for myself, and it's just one more step of being able to enjoy what I love so much. And you know what? I started with the D now, and I was looking for a rig that I could actually properly put this deep dish banger on.
Money well
Oh, yeah.
spent, man.
On that note, I'm hitting some hash. This 99.9% dry sift. The reason why I got this was specifically for this right here. It hits you really nicely, really hard. And give it up to
Yeah, I know. I'm well versed in the mothership rips. I have to say, I've hit all of them and love them all, from the ball rig to the exosphere to the FTK to the fab to the straight fab. I think they're all great. I'm a big supporter of mothership, and definitely glad that everyone's picking one up and enjoying the goodness, because it definitely hits way better than cheap swag Chinese glass.
I have a few pipes.
Experience.
The best hitting one.
It's the way to do it.
There's a couple good songs.
I definitely get hits from this thing.
So what's good about, like, I mean, I made from hash. That's really.
What's going on with Brad? Brad Higgins. You literally have to go talk in the other room.
Hey, how's it going?
It's a sweet.
So I won't hear whatever it's saying. Yeah.
Pretty
If I
good.
didn't say that to him, he'd talk. And my speakers are so shitty.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys.
All right. John just killing it on.
Yo, so no, I don't have a YouTube channel. I know you guys like to ask that every time in the chat. No YouTube, I just do Instagram. No grow channel. I'm only on the Hash Church. That's the only time you'll see my pretty mug on video. Low resolution, but you'll see me. So yeah, somebody on the chat was asking me about. I posted a product called Water Sift last week on my Instagram, and all it is it's water hash that I caught from a 160 to a 45 to make, like, you know, a giant range patty. I broke it down with a card. I stuck it in the vac. It vac dried for, you know, about a day and a half or two till it was like completely dry and brittly. I put my dry sift screens in order, you know, 61, or actually I think I ran like an 86, a 125, a 180, and a 196, and a 230, which is just like copying microns on bubble bags. You see, a 125 LPI is like a 120, a 180 is like a 80-something micron, the 196 is like a 73, so on and so forth. And what I did is just I carded the resin through the screens. Now, because I did it microplane and I took a lot of care on the patty after I pulled it from the bags, the heads, the majority of them didn't break. So I was able to treat the resin like dry sift, and although I caught a big range from 160 to 45, I could properly isolate it back to head sizes. So I was able to get a product and make a 6-star out of it, a 5-star, and a 4-star just based on trichome sizes. So that's what water sift is, and it doesn't go for any higher of a price than water hash. It was just for fun, to see how well I could preserve the trichome throughout the extraction to the drying process. And I felt, you know, very good with the results, man. I'm taking good care of those resin heads that you know, work hard to grow. Yes, a vac. I do vac dry my hash, bro, at about 45 to 50 degrees. And if you think there's terpene loss, man, then it's a good thing, because my hash is really terpy. You know what I mean? I'll be more than happy to share with you guys.
There can't be that much terpene loss if some of the sesquiterpenes, the ones that are the most volatile, are still present in testing after the heating. That says a lot.
Now, and
also hardcore dab heads, I love it.
Yeah. Now the rosin, in retrospect, the heat that the rosin is getting is not real high, guys. When you're pressing out a dab on a hair iron, making a patty, you're subjecting it to the same thing. You know what I mean? Not everybody, because a lot of people go low temp on the pressing, but I was guilty of pressing my patties hot as hell and really thin, and pressed hash tastes the same to me as lightly pressed.
What I laughed about was how people say, well, you're going to destroy it if you heat it. I'm like, well, how do you smoke yours? Well, I heat it. Oh, isn't it destroyed? It's like, how are you gonna say heat's gonna just smoke it, and it gets you high?
People have to look past what it is. I mean, if we're pressing 99% dry sift through a screen to make an oil, it's a good thing. It's all for research. We're not trying to ruin dry sift. And let me tell you, the end product, although never will be available commercially, is definitely nice to smoke. And I love to share it with you guys, man. Hey, Mark, you inspired me, bro. Let me tell you, I would have never pressed dry sift ever until I saw you do it on video. And the rev too with the filter. You guys changed my life, man.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for the good words. Always happy to pass on some inspiration. More dabs. 350 people. I wish our internet connection was better. We can barely hear most of what you guys are saying. No. It's and I just crashed. So there we go. We're done.
Oh, you're there. You're there. I can hear you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro. Don't go.
Dude, how can you hear me? The page is closed.
I don't know, bro, but I can. And I can see you too.
Bubbleman.
Oh, he lagged out. No.
I don't know if you could hear me, but what just happened? I just posted on the Instagram page, what used to be River Rock's page was now my Blue River page, and it went crazy. There's like,
yeah, it says we're still live.
What's your new? Yeah, it says we're live, so we're doing this.
nice. Look at that.
So
good.
I'm posting.
But I have
posted the show everywhere, but hopefully the internet will stay on because it's really good stuff earlier. And if some people are just tuning in, there's a lot of heavy stuff about rosin technique, and if you just tuning in, you guys should watch the show after Bubbleman pushes it out there.
Yeah, I think it's better if you guys do more of the talking is all, because it's still being recorded perfectly. It's just we're not as able to engage with you guys because I don't hear. Tony, I hear you pretty good. I was hearing Horatio good. Cuban was cutting in and out, as was John for me, and I just wasn't able to hear everything that everyone's saying. So I'll try to be a part of the conversation, but I think if you guys just continue the church and keep the conversation going, that's the 371 people that are watching right now would really appreciate that. And the 10,000 people that are going to watch it in the next 48 hours, well, they will also appreciate it. So
yeah, love you, Mark, bro. Have fun in Spain and tell everybody I said what's up. I wish I was in those tables, man. Spanavis is so dope. Next year, for sure.
Next year.
So I'm doing the reclaim from the rosin that I've collected in the deep dish banger. And this reclaim from the rosin is another level.
What are you're smoking reclaim out of your banger?
From the rosin. It's killer. It's like,
word.
I mean, all hash, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, okay, so rosin is like this, right? If you use 3-star rosin or 3-star material and you make it into rosin, you're not going to get a 6-star quality rosin, okay? It's like using shitty material and washing and getting half melt 73. You know what I'm saying? What you put in is what you're gonna get out. So in my opinion, I do not like the taste of 2-star and 3-star turned into rosin. I think it tastes kind of bad. It tastes like generic oil to me. Yeah. Now when you do the 5 and 6-star, you're gonna change your opinion. And let me tell you, my first rosin that I started doing with the filter was using a hair iron. I would be able to fit like 2 grams of hash in a tiny square and just put it in the middle and squeeze up against something at like 300 degrees and the oil would just seep out. Super fire.
So that becomes the next debate: the flower rosin oil versus the 2-star to 4-star, or the 4-star to 5, or the upgrade oil.
Yeah.
Because I guess currently I'm only smoking flower rosin, and most people are getting excited about being able to bring life back to stuff they wouldn't smoke. So there's kind of two worlds happening. There's the world of the flower rosin high end, but there's the world of, oh my god, I have so much new hash that I never had before. When it comes to taking that 2-star and bringing it to something you can at least dab. So it's got a lot of different dimensions, because some people are just dealing with taking their old bubble hash. Some people are dealing, like me, I'm dealing with 45U sift, and other people are dealing with straight flowers. So that's kind of where the different texts and the different images are a bit confusing, because people see the huge slab and they're like, he made that out of flour. Holy shit, Cuban's a god. And I'm like, relax, everybody. It must be, he must have sift that he's cleaning up. There's confusion over basically the source of material that produces your rosin, because it's easier to produce a ton of keef. You can clean up and then rosin than obviously dealing with bud by bud in a t-shirt press.
So, yeah, Krista Kush, bro. I'm glad you have the candid cam in my bath, player. So, anyways, flower versus 3-star. This is the way I look at it, right? If you're pressing flowers, you're getting a full range of heads. So the quality of the oil coming out of the flowers overall is going to be higher. But think about what you're doing. When you're squishing flowers, all you're doing is juicing a trichome, right? So that's why I don't agree with flower rosin. You might as well just do a 2-part extraction. Either dry, like I did yesterday. I dry sifted a pound, got it to like about 90% purity, and then rosined it, and it made that slab I was showing. Or you could just wash a bunch of hash and then make rosin with it after. The flower is more, I guess it's geared towards, hey, you can stick some flowers and make a dab in like 10 to 15 seconds, right? But the yields are so small, and it's just not, it's counterproductive. Much easier and better results, higher yields, and just overall less time consumed doing it with large amounts of hash.
I mean, a lot of people don't have the pound that you're talking about. And getting into actually doing a proper little hit, I get a nice little pain relief from doing the rose and bud than what I get from the different sifts. From like what I collect underneath the 110, I've pressed that out. That's a different high from pressing different things. So the bud itself is like an everything pizza in the oil or the shatter business, and then pressing out those different microns gives us different activities. So I mean, you're getting a different medical value from so many different gland heads, and with the bud, for me, it's quick, it's easy. A lot of people can do it. I do like it, but I prefer my sift 100%. So I mean, there's going to be different variables with it. I mean, the bud itself for quick, nice little relief, 100%. I'm going to gear towards that before I go and start pressing out my 45 or 160 hash. It's quicker, it's easier, and it's more effective.
Also, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Tony. I mean, that's just how I'm gearing towards the end user.
We went deep into like terpene profiles. So if we look at the surface of the leaf, we know that there's different types of resin heads in the distance of them. So some of them are like Bubbleman and I were talking about. Some of them are closer to the leaf. Some of them are mid. And some of them have the long stalks with the bigger heads. If you just look at it as a 1, 2, 3, being it further away and being able to isolate it versus closer to the leaf. And then you have different uniformities that happen among that. So when we use a polar, a non-polar, or a semi-polar solvent to extract that, we're going to be pulling out those different levels of cannabinoids, phytocannabinoids, terpene levels, depending also on the type of temperature that we're using and the starting material. So if the starting material is dry and aged, okay, your reclaim in your bowl that you're looking at right there that you were talking about will be much different than my reclaim that's inside this. So if you look at the edge of my reclaim, how bright yellow that is. So that's because everything that I'm smoking is taking off of fresh plants and fresh materials, and in that process, we're keeping it cold and we're keeping it preserved the entire way. And then when there's that vaporization happening at very low temperatures, the reclaim isn't going to be like a CBN, like a dark red or a dark brown, because the starting material wasn't aged. So that's what this is going to get into. There's two things, like Horatio said, that's going on. One, I think it's fantastic, amazing, and awesome that people now in their home, and people with old dry bud like myself, if you've got bud laying around and you want to get the best out of it, if it's old and really, really old and dry, you can imagine what that press and resin would be like versus freshly cured. What happened?
I said bird.
I said bird.
Bird! Dude, you guys are missed.
Oh, miss being there.
You guys are missed. I'll tell you that for sure.
We got Dane over here too.
Oh, hey, can somebody ban Crystal Kush? He's annoying. Yeah.
Anyway,
annoying.
so I do think that the way Cuban's going about it is Cuban grows for resin production. He's meticulous about his curing process. He's meticulous about every little detail on that. And again, what's going to happen is he's going to find that perfect harmony between as the bud's curing, as the terps are curing, and when to press it, how much pressure, what the temperature would be, the surface area of all those things. And I think you will see competition grade absolutely like in high times and everything else. I think you're going to see that. And then imagine someone like Horatio and I come along and we add terps back into it. Then it's game over.
I would like to share with you some of my rosin when I'm in Denver. What I found out, we tried every strain that we were considering entering into the Denver Cup, and we rosined a sample, right, to see, you know, what was up. About 80% of the strains lost their initial nose. Like if the terpene that we were smelling from the resin itself was lost at lower temperatures. There was only one strain out of everything we tried that after making it into a rosin retained its you know, it's, I would say, full terpene profile, but I haven't tested it, so you know that's kind of premature to say. But some strains do better in rosin than others. Others lose their taste almost completely.
Also, that's not the same way in terpene extractions. So I'm sure Horatio would say the same thing, that there's some strains like that just don't quite come out the same way. Like when I did a Death Star, there's a certain aroma and there's a certain put-off, almost like a frequency, if you would, from the smell that's coming off of when the plant's alive versus when you just have the pure essence. And it's the way it interacts with, I think, the plant material, and there's a natural synergy between that, you know, that sometimes can't repeat. That's why people will always gravitate towards flowers, you know.
Well, I mean, I even noticed that some terpenes are so caustic and thick that they're not worth isolating. They're just not worth it. I'm like, now I kind of have a little bit of what must have been spread out so thinly over the entire mass that now I pretty much ruined it by isolating it into 3 drops. This is stuck as flower if it's ever going to be the ultimate blueberry. But other strains, they just give and give and give to them. Like, I don't know what to do with all this liquid. I end up with spare. But the one last point I wanted to make on that rosin debate was when we were originally talking about why the hit of flower rosin could be so amazing, it was mainly because there was the introduction of the bulbous heads in that milking process that a lot of people haven't experienced, that maybe oil people are used to because it's in that profile. But for flower rosin people, yeah, it's the first time you've actually experienced that included that head. So that was why I was like, well, yes, for production, being able to convert 3-star or 4-star is the most intelligent and efficient, but rosin has that potential to unlock a different medicinal value in its flower format, even if it's every person has to press their own. It's never, I don't know if I could ever think of a way to industrially produce 100 grams of flower rosin, but I can with SIFT. But I might be interested in working really hard at it just to see what that other profile that people don't necessarily always getting that included in their oil.
Yeah, and I think where you'll see a production is, think about this, man. Look at how much is being cultivated and how much is being hand trimmed in California alone. When you think about all of the hand trim coming off of a fresh cure, right? Think about that's part of labor. You're trimming a plant. So if you're collecting hand trim, centers can sit on 100, 200, 300 pounds of hand trim. And if you hand trim and you hand trim over a screen and you do everything proper and collect it, then there's lots of things you can do with that. And I think that's when it becomes more worth it, when you can get your hand trim game up higher enough. Then you have a byproduct and you can clean that, you can press it. Also, when you're doing greenhouses, there's a lot of lower larf and buds. If you're growing big plants and you've got tons of this, like the smalls, if you will, and those things will lower the cost per pound, and that's when you'll see the more production of it. And that's kind of what we're trying to attempt now in Colorado. That was the whole Blue River thing, is taking specific strains for breeding for resin for specific products, not just the medical grade and the prana, but the high-end connoisseurs as well that are out there.
Well, that certainly sounds great to me. And I think we're going to take this opportunity to switch the conversation slightly and talk to Sophia. No, she doesn't want to? She got dabbed out? Oh, she got all dabbed out. She was gonna tell us a little bit about the museum, but that's okay. We're gonna switch the conversation back to DTFO. 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 Should we take the camera and show you guys?
Probably not.
I'm just. She's all laid out in the corner. There she is. There she is over in the corner on the floor. No, just being silly. All right, well, I'm going to get DTFO'd then. We sure did a lot of rosin yesterday. Jeff and I at the booth for probably 8 or 9 hours. Well, maybe 6 or 7 hours. 6 or 7 hours at least. People just brought hash and brought bud. And
Switch this shit up.
Either involved in, which was Barb 90 micron from Matt the Great Gardener. We squeezed that into rosin. That was completely psychotic and insane, and just I can't even tell you how insane it was. But then from there it was every type of bud, every type of hash, from Indian, Manali, Parvati. Some of them had contaminant and the rosin would come out like black. Other ones, the bud were too fresh, and we would squeeze water-soluble chlorophyll out into the gold resin, and it would literally be blue.
Yeah,
blue.
That blue.
Blue fucking resin. Yeah, that was crazy shit, dude. It looked like ink. But I guess when you take green and gold, you get blue. It's pretty trippy. What are you puffing on? Some flower rosin?
Yeah,
that
some
sounds
amnesia
awesome.
haze from HQ Barcelona that I just press into rosin.
Mm.
Jeremy, hey there.
Hey there.
Welcome. Are you alone?
Yeah,
Oh,
just by myself.
Sophia's here too. Let me grab you for a minute before we get on.
Wow.
She wants to leave, so let me.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's
Please
go.
come with me for a minute.
Sounds good. That was was his name? Steven? Steve? What was his name again? You guys don't know? Steven? No? Jeremy? Wow, I was way off.
Jeremy Nori.
Jeremy Nori. He's one of the dudes that throws the secret cup. So he was here, and he's going to come hang out and chat with us in a little bit as well. I guess they had their event yesterday, didn't they? Secret Cup?
It's ongoing.
Or does it go for the next?
Tonight, again, and then it's the awards.
Oh, and then they announce here tomorrow. Right, so they're going to announce their awards tomorrow here at the Hemp and Marijuana and Hash Museum. So that'll be cool. I think everyone seemed to be having a good time. I personally don't hit the oils myself, but lots of my friends have been smoking all the Secret Cup entries, as well as Dabadoo entries, and God, wasn't there one or two other ones? There was the cannabinoid contest one, and I think there was 4 contests out here in this 4-day period. So people are in the competitive spirits. I'm just hitting dabs. Just ripping dabs. Man, a lot of people gave me beautiful. things have come far in Spain. If you're wondering, okay, sure, if you come and you don't know anyone and you try to buy just herb at any old association, it might not be the happiest experience. But yes, there are people here that take this very, very seriously on all levels, from hydrocarbon extractions, chemical extractions, alcohol extractions, dry sifting, wet washing. More than 20 people came up to me and showed me full melt dry sift. A lot of people have stepped up their game with the parchment static trick and with the carding and with the 10-second trick. So more people are making fire dry sift. More people have learned how to dry water hash, and of course here in Spain they have the advantage of having a very powerful, almost tropical sun throughout their summer months, especially down in the south. And they can grow great resin here. Basque country grows incredible resin. I've seen some really nice things from Basque, and yeah, I have to say the full melt situation here, obviously I am Bubbleman and people are coming to me to give it to me, but I still think that you could find it here without, you know, being someone that was involved in hash, that you could come to Barcelona and you could potentially, you know, buy some nice full melt, which has come a long way. 2-3 years ago, you couldn't do. He's like, oh, I can actually come there, and friends that are growing his strains and stuff have beautiful on-point resin. Bumped into Soma a little earlier, as well as Noel Van Schaik. Invited them both, but they're busy as well.
Hey, I'd really like Crystal Kush to be banned. Please and thank you.
Crystal Kush?
Crystal Kush. He seems to be a hater from Washington, hiding behind a spoof handle. Talking hellish. Yeah,
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. What are you saying? You want me to pick you up some Crystal Kush, or are we making fun of someone? I can't tell.
No, I want to have Crystal Kush banned from the chat.
All right, I'll do it right now.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, that's easy. We can do that real easy.
Here's a dab for your ban, buddy.
Yeah, let me just find him in here and we'll get rid of him. Where did he go? Crystal Kush. Oh, you want to call him a Wookiee? Well, why don't let the door hit you on the way out, bro?
That dab's for you.
Goodbye, my friend. Sayonara, Crystal. Have a good one. Hope you get some better hash, bro, because clearly yours
he
is
was
bad.
mad. He was really mad about something. I have no idea what.
I didn't read it, but if you're asking me to kick him out, I'm guessing he's being a dick.
He was, bro. He was. And you know what? I haven't even had my dab of the day, so that's not fair, bro. To troll me before I even get high.
I've done like 25 dabs in the last hour and a half.
To troll me before I even get high.
It's 011.
That's awesome. Hey man, we're just trying to chill. Crystal Kush. Wow, you've been in the chat a long time for not having a puff, bro.
Pikachu and Amnesia.
I'll have a little dab, and of course hit Barb or anything you want on like you can smoke this shit chronic right now. Yeah. Chronic. Bird. I fucking can't believe I was so excited to chill out and hang out with Bird, and then they lost his passport. That's some bullshit. Hitting the egg. I was wondering why you were leaning over him like that, Tony. I clicked on your camera and you guys were like one shadow.
I'll have him dress up as a pastor for Ash Church, as a father.
You guys are hilarious. By the way, I unmuted you so we can hear you.
What happened was Bird was like using the torch on an angle and trying to get the whole thing lit up, and I go, bro, it works so much easier than that. It's actually placed at the perfect height so that the torch and it can burn at the perfect same height like this. Look. So it just sits, and it's perfectly perfect at the perfect level. And so Dane was making fun of me. He's like, man, you're waiting so long to hit that. And I was like, no, it's got to be timed perfectly. And so I leaned over and gave it to Bert in that moment. Pretty fun.
Well, we got almost 500 people watching Hash Church right now. We thank you guys for coming back. We've had some technical difficulties. I've almost lost my voice here. It's rough. It's rough.
So tell me, from last year's experience to this year's experience, remember when we got there where the non-solvent game was at and where they were at with the, I guess with the solvent extractions, and the quality of the flowers and the pricing was pretty cheap. Like, has pricing gone up, quality gone up, or what would you say your evaluation is?
Well, I was telling someone that I got some nice hash at HQ for 35 a gram, and they were like, no, man, that's half a gram. And I was like, what? 70 euros for a gram? Holy Christ. Wow. But then again, I didn't pay for it. David gave it to me, so I didn't realize that it was like that much. So I think they do have good price stuff as well. Like you could walk into HQ and buy some 15 euro a gram shit, sit down with your sister's hair straightener and squeeze 6-star out of that shit. You know what I mean? And literally turn around and sell it back to them for 40 wholesale.
Do you have an outlet?
You have an outlet and a couch. I'm gonna start making you wholesale runs.
Yeah. I just go to associations, hang out for 3 hours, spend $200 and make 1,000.
So, yeah, last year, just so you know, last year when we were there, I believe it was like, wasn't it like 20 or 30? Maybe it was 20 a half a gram. It was pretty cheap, or 20.
Yeah, it was around that. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm crewless. I'm crewless here. Like, none of you guys are here, basically. I saw Giddy Up once. He was out in front of HQ, and he was like, dude, you got to help me pull some strings. I can't get my girlfriend. And I'm like, well, okay, what's the problem? And he's like, she's not old enough. And I was like, how old is your girlfriend, dude? Just making sure I'm not getting a 14-year-old into HQ here, boy.
Oh my God!
But no, she was a 20-year-old girl. She was, apparently you got to be 21. I didn't know it was 21. I would have thought 18. You know? Yeah, 21 you got to be to go in there. I was like, damn. I don't have that much weight to push.
Yeah, get it better. Of course. You don't ever have to ask. But I appreciate it. It's fun. I was working on it.
Hey, where's your camera pointing? Oh, I can see all you guys good.
$9 software on the Mac store.
Why don't you tell us some things, Todd? We haven't heard from you in a
Can
bit.
you hear me? I'm muted, right? You gotta mute you.
No, I have to mute everyone else, not just me. Everyone, now you're good.
Can you guys hear me?
No, I don't need to rap.
Alright, hold on.
I can't.
You know what you might have to do? Turn down your volume. I think I was.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Well, it's really great, Barcelona. This place is a real milestone in cannabis culture. It is born out of Ben Dronker's hemp collection in Amsterdam. As you know, many of us here know, he started the museum. Well, he purchased a museum back in the 80s and renovated it and added to his collection constantly. And back, well, 12, now 13, 14, 15 years ago, Ben decided he wanted to expand the museum, and he decided to get another place for it. And he found this beautiful palace that's 500 years old, and he renovated. It took 12 years to renovate this place and turned it into really the world's most beautiful hemp collection. I don't know how else to put it. And now it's been open since 2012, and it's only €750 to get in. And anyone that travels to Barcelona that loves cannabis should come here. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's over 1,000 square meters of history and artifacts and just fun stuff. Really, it's actually really great. Yeah, and so I said a few things about the museum.
Dude, of course you did. Please do. You should tell people a little bit about your event.
Well, I'm gonna hold off on that a little bit. What do you call it? That is gonna be pretty epic, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But yeah. Well, I guess we could talk about it now on hashtag. Screw it. Are you there? Can you hear me?
My computer just.
No, you did just fry it. You did.
It says chin chan.
Wow. Well, can you guys still hear me, or is everybody frozen? No, the whole room is frozen.
Yeah, you guys
He's shaking his head.
Tony, can you hear me? Tony, can you hear me? That's affirmative. All right, Tony, love you. Yeah, we can hear. All right, Mark's coming back. Well, everybody, what I've been working on for the past few months is renting the Los Angeles Coliseum to bring back the THC Expo again this June. They have so far been very, very kind and considerate about this, and they're going to let me rent the entire place and turn most of it into a compliance area. So we'll have the freedom to use cannabis in accordance with California law. We're going to turn most of the field into booths, and we're going to have music going on Saturday and Sunday with also speakers and presenters, and we're also going to do the Cannabis Culture Awards, and Tommy Chong has agreed to attend and accept the Cannabis Culture Award for his work as an activist and as a just all-around great guy in cannabis. So, yeah. That's awesome. You coming back on, Mark? Or?
I'm trying. My computer's like 10% loaded. It's white screen with an Apple.
Awesome.
Like, I crashed hard, bro. My shit went, whoa. Made that nice sound. It's like not a good sound.
Well, that sometimes happens.
Pizza spinning bubbles.
See, this isn't even an internet thing now. This is just my computer.
This is just the computer.
Because I operate my computer like if I was a teenage boy driving a muscle car.
Right.
It's just like red light all the time.
Right.
No. My computer's like too hot all the time. I have to put ice packs and stuff under it because it's just like I'm rendering photos, I'm rendering video, I'm uploading, I'm downloading, it's just too much. Clearly.
Well, you know what? I think I'm still on, man. You can come sit here while your computer sets up and stay.
It'll be another 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Are they still?
What is it, Todd?
There is. Yes, there is.
But none of them are talking.
Tony?
Yeah, what?
Did you unmute yourself, Tony? Hold on, let me see if I got it.
I mute everyone when I turn your mic on.
Tony, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, now I can hear you too, Tony. It's good to see you, bro. You look great. Yeah, we're having technical difficulties this whole time.
That guy has a shirt on that says Terp? Terps?
Yeah, that's Etienne. This one?
Oh.
Yeah, Etienne owns Richardson's group.
All right, cool.
They can see you.
Hi, everybody.
Is that where
enjoying the selection of hash here in Barcelona? I have to say that the representation at Secret Cup was quite amazing, especially to see the international entries.
Who won on the Secret Cup?
That's still to be decided. I was fortunate enough to get a kit, but I'm not an official judge, so I've been able to in this competition. So been able to get quite a perspective on what's going on here in Europe compared to what we have going on.
That's heavy metals.
That was me just coming back. I'm muted though. Like my mic and
bring up your sound though.
Sorry.
Me? I don't want to bring up my sound because then it'll be like
technical difficulties, people. Just a minor feedback.
Hey, everybody.
I don't know if we're live though.
Are we live?
It says live. Tony, can you still hear me?
I linked up the hash church on my Instagram, and people are telling me that they can't access it.
Cannot access it.
I don't know.
So
what that means. People in the chat, I guess they can see us.
I'm seeing it on YouTube. It says 54 minutes, and people say yes, well, you're live.
Okay.
All right, if you
I don't know how that one worked out because my computer, the one that's controlling everything, died.
Wow, that's trippy, bro. You're muted, but I can still hear you.
You know what? It's coming through my.
Oh no, No, I'm not lagging. Cool. So, Secret Cup, right? I follow those guys on Instagram, and they were posting all the entries, you know, BHO, and they got to like a piece of some looked like to me some fire full melt, like some grease, and then immediately everybody was like, soup, Tane soup, that's the soup. Like they weren't even able to like recognize it was some full melt. Now, that makes me think, bro, is that a competition geared more towards BHO than full melt? Does full melt have like a disadvantage at the Secret Cup just because it's like a blind panel type of test? Do you need to pick a certain type of full melt to even be competitive so it won't get confused as shitty BHO?
That might be something that's only happening in Spain, because that's region to region. Because in the P&W, it's not an issue. When it won second place, I think it was SoCal. It's not an issue in California. Everybody knows. You smoke both. It's probably something coming from a region that's just adopting solvent extracts. So they're really only focused on, the only thing they're going to judge is shatter. That's usually where it's the first round. But in the more mature Secret Cups, like I'm expecting to have serious problems with you entering rosin, in Pacific Northwest. So it's not going to be an issue. In fact, in your case, it's going to